and pass it over to Sarah.
Thank you, Jessie. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the campus engagement team here at Ex Libris, we will be facilitating today's session on leveraging engagement resources. It's great to have everyone here today. Thank you very much for your time, for spending part of your day with us. Before we dive in, we want to start with a brief introduction. Some of you, almost all of you know me, but for those who haven't met me yet, my name is Sara Belotti. I've been a campus engagement manager for Leganto for 1 year. I actually just celebrated my first anniversary with Ex Libris this month. I support schools in EMEA, and I really enjoy working with libraries on planning adoption initiatives and identifying best ways to engage with their instructors and students.
And my name is Betsy Post-Garza. I'm also a campus engagement manager for Leganto. I'm sorry, my video is not working. I tried this morning, I do apologize. I've actually been with Ex Libris since 2016, and I've worked with Leganto since the very beginning. I support schools all around North America, but have supported institutions across the globe previously during my career here. And I really love having the opportunity to connect with people all around the world, and especially seeing the difference that we can make for the library faculty and students. So we have a really exciting agenda prepared for you all today. First, we're going to review the campus engagement program briefly, and then we're going to talk about our newest resources that rolled out over the summer, the Marketing Kit and the Demo Kit, before we dive into additional resources that we offer, such as the sample bank, the listserv, and our customer stories. And we're always updating and enhancing those. And finally, we're going to take your questions live and probably nervously. So we're really excited to present this to you today.
So starting with collaborating with the campus engagement team. As you may know, the campus engagement team collaborates with sites throughout the duration of the subscription period. And the goal is really to develop an adoption strategy that meets your unique needs. So throughout this process, we provide guidance, direction, and support to help sites ultimately achieve their goals and their vision of success. In addition to providing strategic guidance, we also aim to share the right resources at the right time to support our sites as they work towards completing your goals and your action plan. So we work with sites around the world. We have a holistic view of what has worked in the past and what is effective in the present too, as sites in various regions establish and move forward with their adoption plans. So we have a collection of materials from customers around the world and brand new resources that you can use to help you with your adoption and outreach efforts. Finally, community connection and success story sharing is another important aspect of what we do. So once you complete onboarding and you become familiar with Leganto, we continue to check in with you, and we do our best to connect you with professional development opportunities, conferences hosted by Ex Libris, and different outlets that provide you with the opportunity to share your story with the user community worldwide. We really like celebrating your successes with you and showcasing your stories whenever it's possible. Leganto listserv and local user groups are also wonderful support. As you may know, via user groups and platform, you can connect with your peers, ask additional questions, and learn from their unique experiences as well.
Great. So as Sarah said, as campus engagement managers, we want to make sure that we're providing you with the best resources possible that are going to help you raise awareness about Leganto on your campus, to help you inform, educate, and empower your Leganto users and hopefully those potential users out there. We're going to do this with your unique goals for success in mind and in very close collaboration with you. We do our best to make engaging with folks outside the library as easy on you as possible by providing large collections of resources and kits that can be adapted to your unique needs. And most recently, our team has rolled out the Marketing Kit and the Demo Kit, which we're going to talk more in depth about right now, along with those other valuable resources in the next slide. So we've launched our Marketing Kit this summer, and we know from many institutions that creating these customized marketing materials extremely time-consuming and challenging, and we really want to help you focus on the more strategic work, which is recruiting faculty to use Leganto, educating those folks on using it, So the materials in this new kit empower you to quickly produce customized materials and free up that valuable time to focus on those additional initiatives and even other day-to-day work. The marketing kit, in my opinion, is fun, it's fast, it's simple, and fully customizable for any institution, regardless of size or where they are right now with Leganto, whether they're a new school with us or a school that's been with us for years. So I'm just going to highlight a few things specifically about the marketing kit. First, we have a generator that can help you create customized branded social media images in only a few clicks or a few minutes. So super simple to use, walks you through in just a few clicks. You can definitely change the text. You can add your URL and, of course, logos. We also have email templates. And I think we all know that what Cicero said, if I had more time, I would have written a shorter letter, is true. That's very often the case for me. It can be really challenging to create concise yet compelling communication to faculty to discuss something new and to discuss change, because change is rarely organic or easy. The work you're doing when you're recruiting instructors to use Leganto and to instruct them on how to use it, that's really the magic. And that's what we really want to free up your time to focus on and allow you to do. We also have banners that are ready to go. Those are going to help you promote Leganto on websites as well as other digital library properties, as well as on social media. You can also use our customizable PDFs to type up your own messages and then download that you can post from there. Also, the faculty blog post sample, similar to what I mentioned about our email templates, if you have a blog, and I know many institutions do, you can use this template to save time. And with only a sentence or two from faculty, you can really do compelling blogs. So here on this screen, you're actually seeing just a quick glimpse of what the new marketing kit can help you produce. Let's learn more about this and actually take a look at how some institutions are already using this kit. So what you're seeing here is that loads. This is actually a sample from the Colorado School of Mines. So the Colorado School of Mines has actually been using Leganto for several years now. They recently told me that they wanted to refresh their LibGuide and some of their other materials. So this is a really great example of how they were able to use the marketing kit to do that. And in fact, they're the first school I know about in North America that was able to do it. So they reached out to me and I was really excited to hear from them about how they were able to use the kit to do exactly what they had emailed me to do, which is revise and enhance what they already had existing. So that actually focused them on being able to provide additional training sessions in advance of the fall 2021 term. So I was really happy to hear that. And further, I was happy to see firsthand that even schools that have been with us for years, they have existing materials already created that are good quality, can still take advantage of the marketing kit to update, enhance what they're already doing. So the next one is a different example. So instead of a LibGuide, instead of a website or PowerPoint, for example, this is a school that's actually newer with us as well, and they were using the marketing kit with regard to social media. So they used it to promote Leganto and its benefits on their Twitter, their Facebook, and their Instagram pages. And I thought it was fun to see how schools are using the kit on social. So I would see the post and it made me smile just because I know it made it so much easier for them as a new school implementing Leganto with a lot of things to do. This really was able to save them time and allow them to meet their users where they are. And we know so many of those users are out on social. So the kit's pre-formatted generator made it really effortless for them to reach out to those folks, especially when they're first getting started, like I said, and have so much on their plates and so many things to do. So hopefully those two examples kind of show the different media as well as the different types of schools. Now, finally, the last example is a little bit different from the first two. So this is a brand new school, Texas A&M University Commerce, and this is a post that their library made to their Facebook page along with a link to a YouTube tutorial. So they actually created this on their own. So these materials were created by their incredible marketing librarian that they have. And please know that they actually showcase excellent work and excellent marketing. But also, what I like to showcase with this is I hope you see how similar those first two ready-made templates in a couple of clicks are to this beautiful custom work. So just keep in mind the balance there. So if you don't have the resources or the time to create materials independently on your own, please be inspired by the marketing kit and know you can create beautiful work so easily, and we are here to help you do that. You can also use the marketing kit for inspiration to create your own, because some folks, of course, want to do that. They enjoy doing that. It's something that they have a passion for, and we definitely want to encourage that as well. Further, just please share with us what you create. We love seeing your work, and the marketing that you're doing is so important. So in summary, I just want to close with saying, if you're just getting started with us, you're a new school, please leverage our materials, save time so you can focus on other things. If you've been with us for a while, take a look at what you have created and perhaps consider refreshing, revising what you've already done. If your idea goes beyond our kit, you can turn that into inspiration, into action and create something on your own. And if you've created or revised materials, please share them with us. We love to have the samples, and it really brings us joy to see what you're doing. If you fall into any of these groups, I think the key theme is always let us help you. That's what we're here for in campus engagement. And we definitely know that marketing is so important in the success of Leganto, and we really are here to help.
Thank you, Betsy. Now we're switching to the demo kit. So like our marketing kit, our Leganto Demo Kit was also released over the summer. It is our newest campus engagement resource and shares best practices regarding how to make the most of your Leganto demo for instructors at your institution. So while working with you, we learned that some of you really struggle to showcase Leganto in a succinct way that resonates with your instructors. So we took it upon ourselves to create another resource to help facilitate your engagement and outreach experience on campus. So via this customizable resource, we've shared instructions to get you started, provided you a script that is geared toward your instructors, created a slide deck so you don't have to, and even shared the sample file that we use to create our demo with you. If you'd like to see what an instructor-centric demo looks like in action, we've also shared a brief recording for you to review as you create your own. So please get inspiration from these resources and customize it to your own needs. So while we won't be showing you today how to demo Leganto, I would like to take a few minutes to highlight how you can make the most of your demo and our demo kit at your institution. As we get started, some of you may be thinking, why would I need to demo Leganto to instructors? It's so easy to use. Well, that's true. Creating resource list is really a simple process, but it's helpful to keep in mind that perhaps not everyone knows what Leganto is at your institution, or perhaps not everyone is using Leganto as much or the way you would like them to. So think of your Leganto demo, whether it's live or recorded, as a simple outreach initiative to increase awareness and bring other instructors on board. Well, we tend to say when it comes to outreach, the more the merrier. For example, as your institution welcomes a new group of hires, I think that's a perfect chance for you to demo Leganto. Or maybe certain disciplines on campus have lower usage than others, you should demo Leganto. And even if, also if you are adopting a new course management list, it's a perfect chance to demo Leganto. Or maybe you're just interested in increasing the number of active reading lists. So this is just a way to show when you could demo Leganto. So there are really many chances for you to do that. And before showcasing how to create a reading list in a few simple steps, always be sure to highlight why instructors should use Leganto. So what are the key benefits that it brings to the classroom experience? What's in it for them and for the students? Is Leganto a tool that maybe helps them, instructors, save time while they're preparing material each term? Or maybe it's something that helps instructors better engage with students? Or maybe they use Leganto, or Leganto helps instructors to support student affordability, OER activities, or we know we do a lot, you actually do a lot with diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, or other strategic initiative of interest at your institution. again, before you dive into the how, you really want to explain the why in a way that clicks on your campus. While you're preparing your demo, remember to practice and keep things short and sweet. Our demo kit can really help you out in this regard. The customizable materials that we provided via our demo kit can help you minimize the prep needed to put a polished demo together. And by making the most of these ready-to-go resources, you can make minimal edits to best meet your needs, or you can even break down our demo into shorter snippets that you can share with your instructors via training session, your lead guide, or other promotional campaign. When it comes to sharing your demo, we highly encourage that you host a virtual or a live demo followed by an interactive workshop. And you record your demo to share again via lead guide, email, or other relevant channels. And once you have successfully demoed Leganto, you want to transition into an interactive workshop that really allows instructors to create their own reading list. So you can then leverage your recorded demos, as I said, as much as possible. You can share the complete version on your lead guide or maybe in an engaging email. You can also, as I said, consider breaking the demo into smaller snippets. We have created short video clips for our customers, and I've heard from many of you that teachers, instructors really appreciate the micro-learning opportunities that we've created for them. And finally, after you've completed your demo, you also want to be sure to keep engagement going. So always follow up with your attendees individually if you can, share how-to resources that enable them to build their own list independently or in collaboration with you. You also want to provide one-on-one support, and always highlight a clear call to action that really inspires them to adopt Leganto. So since the demo kit is still so new, sites are currently in the process of making the most of these newest resources. But I'm sure that a lot of you have done a demo. So I'm asking you now, what has been your go-to strategy to engage instructors in a demo or when creating a video? If you could share it with us today and put it in the chat, I do believe that the others will certainly benefit from it. So we'd like to take these few minutes to share what other sites have done, to leverage their how-to videos to bring reading lists to life and increase instructor engagement on campus. You can see two examples on this slide. On the left, a lead guide from Swansea University. Swansea has been using Leganto successfully for several years, and here you can see how they've been able to embed short videos in their lead guide. These 1 minute videos, or even less than 1 minute videos actually, covers the basic of creating, editing a reading list, and along with text and screenshots, they really make a fantastic guide for instructors that are either just starting to use Leganto or maybe need a refresher. On the right, you can see an example of a Leganto champion at Edinburgh University. Edinburgh has been one of the Leganto early adopters, and they really are a perfect example of how to create training material for instructors. Their 10-step guides to resource list offer short guides and videos. And the videos are 10 minutes max. They cover all instructors need to get them started with the resource list, enabling them to create, publish, and update the reading list. And they also have a student guide and a video that helps students to find resource lists, use the features available to view a list, or search for an item or manage their reading list. Two additional examples of how to embed videos on your webpage and lead guides from Cardiff Met and St. George University of London. Cardiff Met has Leganto for a few years. Their webpage is an example of a balanced synergy between text, screenshots, and videos used to present the basic functionalities of Leganto to their instructors. So on their own page here, they have uploaded a short demo. So in less than 4 minutes, they show instructors how to create reading lists, add items to list using several options, and tags item to list, submit and publish a list, again, in less than 4 minutes. On the right, St. George University of London is a brand new Leganto adopter. Their usage is fast increasing. I would say thanks also to this clear and comprehensive lead guide. that shows instructors in a very engaging way and step-by-step how to create and manage reading lists. They realized since the beginning the value of adding videos to make the material more engaging and entertaining, and also added a checklist of the tasks that are considered an essential part of setting up a reading list, alongside some tips on how to make reading lists more dynamic and interactive for students. And I'll pass it over to Betsy, to talk about two customers in North America.
Thanks, Sarah. So a few examples that I'm going to talk about from North America, Vanderbilt and then Northeastern. So Vanderbilt has been using Leganto for quite a few years now, and during this time, I've seen them expand and enhance their LibGuide and other materials several times. All of their materials just keep getting better and better, and I think this is because they've learned so much along the way and they've incorporated that knowledge. So they've learned what their FAQs are from faculty, what the top benefits to their faculty and students are, what the key things at their institution that really make it work, and they've incorporated that. So to this end, they've created these short videos based on those best practices they've learned, those FAQs, and they've placed them throughout the LibGuide in the right places. So again, the right resources at the right time. They're all short, concise, which is wonderful. And again, under, I think, 3 minutes, every single one. And as an example here, you're looking at a short video they have on how to add the course reading list to their specific LMS, which is D2L Brightspace. So these concise, impactful videos in the right places are definitely a best practice. And I think with our demo kit, you can feel confident making your own. Also with our video library that our teaching Jesse Ransom has created, you can easily use one of ours. So definitely keep in mind that you can repurpose those, link to them. They're awesome. Finally, Northeastern has also been using Leganto for years, and I think their materials across the board are fantastic. They've created this 7-minute tutorial for their faculty, and it walks them through everything they need to know to create a list successfully, and in basically 4 easy steps. So I would just say 4 easy steps: create, edit, submit, publish. And I think their materials always go to speaking about the why and not just the how, which is, of course, Sarah mentioned, definitely a best practice. And speaking of terrific materials, it's a great transition to talk more about our sample bank and the many materials that are there from schools like we've just seen. So the Leganto sample bank is our go-to for all things Leganto on the campus engagement team, internally speaking. But we have here in our sample bank best-in-class LibGuides and websites, presentations, user guides, videos, handouts, and many more materials. They're stored within a planner that we maintain as the campus engagement team. And one thing I really love about the sample bank is that it is a repository as well. So it contains not just the newest materials, but also older materials. And some of these older pieces can easily be refreshed and repurposed. The underlying content in some of those materials is so good that I'll share it with my schools and just say, take 10 minutes to update this a little, because the underlying content, the bullet points, the messaging is that awesome. So we have samples from every size school with every different use case around the globe. So as we get to know you better, we can definitely send the materials from here that match what you need the most and what speaks the most to your institution. If you need a sample, I always joke and say, you know, if you need a model, we definitely have a sample for that. So definitely ask if you'd like to review some materials in our sample bank. Recently, I want to highlight a few things that we're getting a lot more requests for. So this seems pretty uniform across the board to be asked for student-facing materials more and more. So schools are asking more and more about, you know, talking to students, marketing to students, speaking to them. We have things such as LibGuides, user guides, and even video tutorials that talk to students. So I wanted to highlight that because it's something we're seeing more. Also, user surveys. User surveys are very important and help to market Leganto with the feedback you receive. So definitely with those user surveys, you can take that feedback that you get, which is, I mean, almost always positive just based on what I hear from my schools, and you can take that and run with it. So you can use those quotes to go market Leganto to other instructors. You know, if they put their name on the survey, you can follow up with them and see if they can help you talk peer-to-peer, for example, to get more users on board. And finally, I think sample emails is definitely another thing that we're seeing questions about from our newer schools especially. So we have a lot of sample emails. How did other schools go about talking about this new tool called Leganto or this new workflow that they're going to use? So we have a lot of sample emails from schools in addition to the materials we have in that marketing kit. We've also got things other schools have done. So we've also been collecting materials since Sarah started that are global and multilingual, and I'm going to let Sarah talk about that.
Thank you, Betsy. Yes, so in the past year, we've been collecting training promotional material from customers in languages other than English. So now our sample bank has expanded to host material in Spanish, German, Italian, Danish, and Hebrew. I just spoke to a customer today in Sweden, and I'm waiting for their material in Swedish. So if you're looking for samples in other languages, of course, reach out to us. And if you created material in languages other than English, please share them with us.
Definitely. So the usage of these materials in the sample bank, questions that we get, these have opened many doors of connection. So us being able to connect schools to other schools, librarians to other librarians, and connecting schools together based on common goals and needs is one of the most valuable things we can do for you as a campus engagement team. It's a great segue to have Sarah talk about our Leganto community.
Yes, thank you. So while most of you are actively using these Leganto resources, I'd like to take a moment to briefly highlight yet another resource and another way that you can use to connect with the Leganto community. So eLuna is the international user community for Ex Libris customers in the Americas, while Igloo is the international group of Ex Libris users. Both organizations promote the exchange of information regarding Ex Libris to enhance library services, share ideas, documentation, and additional resources. And both groups also host the Leganto email list, which is an open forum for all Leganto users and Ex Libris staff. Once you subscribe, you quickly realize that this is really an invaluable resource that enables Leganto users to ask questions, share best practices, or build their network. In my opinion, one of the best things about the listserv is the overall engagement. Leganto users and Ex Libris colleagues are active, responsive, and always making connections. So specific engagement to solutions, to practical applications, and to each other. And if you haven't done so already, I highly encourage you to subscribe. You can do so via the link provided on this slide. And once your registration is complete, you can share your questions with Ex Libris colleagues and peers directly. While you will see several lists dedicated to all things technical, we also encourage you to use this resource to share your engagement and adoption-related questions as well. I'm sure that you will find that the Leganto community is both eager and willing to help and also learn from you.
So continuing on with our customer stories and our community, I want to talk about some of our case studies and those types of materials. So I think our customer stories can be slightly untraditional when you think of resource for campus engagement, perhaps, but our customer stories are a wonderful way that you can learn more about what other schools are doing with Leganto on their campuses and why. Why are they doing that? How are they doing that? How are they successful? How can I model that? Can I talk to someone there? So all of those things, I think, are a wonderful example of why you should definitely look at these customer stories. So I have a quote here from St. Thomas, which is one of the schools I work with in the US. And I don't want to focus on them today, but I love the quote just talking about how Leganto helps the library shine even more. So they had a great vision for the library, how they could really help the school, and Leganto helped them do that. And I think that's all a part of what Leganto does and what campus engagement does. We really want to make the library shine as brightly as possible. So with the customer stories, two schools I work with in the US, California State University, San Marcos, as well as University of Mary Washington, on totally separate coasts of the United States, two completely different institutions, different sizes, but they both had initiatives on their campuses to promote student affordability, which drives student success. Big in the United States to do that with student affordability. So they both have customer stories that they've done with us to talk about how they use Leganto to leverage OER, student affordability initiatives, how popular Leganto has become not only with faculty but with their students, and then how they've used it to support strategic initiatives on their campus. So again, illustrating every size, every shape, so to speak. You know, please look at those stories. Two that probably are also relevant for you, I hope, are Edinburgh and Linnaeus. So Edinburgh did a wonderful story on how they use Leganto to help them streamline their workflows, to drive efficiencies and develop their collections more effectively. So to make sure, I think, that their faculty have what they want and what they need. So I enjoyed reading that one. And with Linnaeus, this is one of our newer ones, and it's all about understanding, you know, using Leganto to helping them understand what their instructors need, to help build better relationships with their faculty, and to streamline student access to their course resources.
We really hope that you found this session helpful. And as we conclude it, we can summarize the key talking points as follows. So first, we encourage you to leverage our Leganto engagement materials, whether it is just checking examples of what others have done from our sample bank, or customize your training and promotional material via our newest marketing or demo kit. Also, do not hesitate to reach out to your peers via the Leganto email list. As discussed today, this resource is really a great way to share ideas, documentation, and additional resources. Learn more about what other schools are doing with Leganto on their campuses by checking some of our customer stories. You can learn about their experiences and find inspiration for your next initiative. So we highlighted some best practices that will make the most of our new marketing and demo kit at your institution. First, when you present Leganto, always highlight why instructors should use it, the key benefits it brings to the classroom experience, and what's in it for instructors and their students. Make sure to customize our kits to your needs, create messages and demos that really resonate with your instructors and students. And finally, leverage brand new material as much as possible. Make use of the marketing kit, really make it your own. Record the demo and share the complete version via LibGuide or an engaging email. The possibilities are really endless. So again, leverage these materials each term. Finally, work with your campus engagement manager. We are here to help. We can always schedule a one-on-one session to review some of the resources that we presented today in more details and provide guidance and feedback on how to make the most of them. As a result of this presentation, we hope you go out and try a couple of new things moving forward. If you have any questions or would like to explore one or more of these options in greater details, please reach out to us directly. We'd be more than happy to schedule an individual session with you to present additional examples of these resources and discuss possible application. Thank you all for listening. And now we can open up to your questions. So I don't know, Betsy, if you want to check the chat.
Actually was looking at the chat while you were talking. We do have a question, and it's actually for you.
Okay.
So a question for you about demos. It says, we'd like to demo Leganto to new hires next term. How long do you think our demo should be?
Thanks for the question. I would also, since it's on the same topic, I want to read the comment that I received from one of you regarding my question, because it really connects well with this question as well, regarding your go-to strategy to make your demo. And one of you told me my go-to strategy is to make my demo about instructors and keep the demo as short as possible. While there is so much you can do with Leganto, it's best to keep it simple so instructors don't get overwhelmed. So that's exactly what I was going to say. We have shared some examples today from different institutions, and all of them really have created demos that are short and to the point. Some have been able to cover, as we saw, the basic functionalities of Leganto in less than 5 minutes. Others have explored additional features, but they were still able to limit the demo to 15 to 20 minutes. So point being, regardless of what you decide to present, I would suggest that, as one of you just told me, to keep the demo short and really focus on what instructors need to know to get them started. And especially since you were asking about new hires, and these new hires may not have seen the system or used the system before. So you really want to focus on what they need to know to get them started. And then you can always revise the demo. You can present maybe additional features when your instructors become more familiar with Leganto and really want to explore the product further. So that would be my suggestion.
Great. Sorry, there's another question from the Q&A. How do we reach you?
That's for me?
I think for both of us, but probably more for you.
Okay. I think I can share my email here at the end. I mean, you will find my email right here. And I normally reach you. I normally reach out to you at least twice a year, but this is my email and this is Betsy's email. So please put it down and write it down.
Yes, so definitely. I see it in the chat there. Thank you, Amy, for putting that in chat for us. We appreciate it. So another question, actually, I think this one might be for me. I took a quick look at the marketing kit and noticed a blog post sample. I'd like to partner with 1 or 2 people at our school to be able to share experience more widely. What advice do you have to get that started? I guess this is probably one of my favorite things to talk about. So I think that the best marketing that I've seen is definitely the peer-to-peer. I think I talked about that a little bit, but if you have, you know, faculty instructors that are using Leganto and they like it, definitely I think the biggest thing is to ask them. So I feel like a lot of times they're just not being asked to provide feedback or a quote or to help talk about Leganto. And I've had several schools come back and say, I asked and they said they would do it. So I think you might be surprised if you just ask your faculty, you know, if you know that they're having a positive experience, they're your single best marketing tool and the best tactic. So ask them to tell their friends. And honestly, with the sample blog post, even if you just have a sentence or a few words, a couple of sentences, you can make a really big impact there. They also sometimes can send an email on your behalf. You can help them write it and they'll just send it. Sometimes I've seen them talk to their department chair. So I've seen this work really, really well in several of the schools I work with, and it can really help lead to success. I'm going to look for another question. Are there any more questions? Okay. Sarah, I think this one is also for you since you're handling the demos. You talked about making the most of the recorded demo. What have other schools done and what advice do you have?
Yeah, thank you. So I think today we've seen some examples of what other schools have done with their recorded demo, right? So you can always upload, of course, a recorded version of your demo on your LibGuide, on your web page, and then inform instructors that this resource will be, you know, at their disposal, whether they're just getting started with Leganto or they need a refresher. Also, use your social media channels to advertise this resource. You know, posts on Facebook or Twitter can go a long way. You can also use different social media channels. For example, the university one, so you can reach a larger audience. And finally, I mean, remind, I would say, instructors every term that they can check the demo, right? So I'm sure some instructors do forget how to use Leganto, even if it's very easy, but they may forget some of the steps, right, that they need to take. So you want to direct them to the demo. I mean, in a few words, I think informing them, using the different channels, reminding them that they have this demo at their disposal, asking them to give you feedback so you can make adjustments and improve your demo. And also we talk about breaking your demo into smaller snippets. I think that at least I've heard again from some of you that instructors do like it, this kind of micro learning. I think it's better and it's easier to watch a minute or 2-minute videos rather than watch an entire, 15 or 20 minutes demo. So these are just some ideas.
Thank you. And I see a comment actually, not a question, but a comment. We haven't done a survey because we don't want to bother instructors. I can take that. So I actually have to say that I think when I started doing some of this, I also was like, who wants to get a survey? I don't know that, people always love surveys. So honestly, they're not mandatory, so they can always not fill it out. I mean, that's not what we want, but just keep that in mind, first of all. But second, keep it short, a couple of questions. I've seen schools do almost a multiple choice type thing. The shorter it is, the more concise, not as fill in the blank, unless they want to expand. It definitely works because you can always follow up on that. That's what I've seen. So when they provide just a couple positive things, you can follow up, you can call, you can email. And I don't think it's a bother just because it's not necessarily mandatory. And oftentimes what I find is people either provide feedback if they're really happy or if they're really unhappy. So hopefully we don't get really unhappy. I don't really see that, but usually if people are really happy, they give great feedback. And even with some of the schools that I work with in North America, they've surveyed students. And I would say student feedback has really helped drive adoption in several schools I work with, because student feedback in courses using Leganto was so overwhelmingly positive, they were able to use that as a marketing tactic pretty successfully. So I would say don't worry about it. Do it. Try it. I think you'll be surprised.
Do we have other questions? I don't see.
I see we've had Leganto for a while and we're happy with our usage. Why would we continue to promote Leganto?
Take that. I can start and then I think you can write.
Okay.
I think it's, you as Ex Libris, as campus engagement manager, we really want our customers to use Leganto as much as possible. We really want all the students, that would be the idea, right? All the instructors, all the students to use Leganto. I think you would want to increase usage because there are some students, some teachers, instructors that are still not using it, right? So why should prevent them from accessing such a great resource? That would be my first answer. And then more in general, I think it's great to increase awareness around Leganto. There are many things that you can do with Leganto that goes beyond just sharing resources. And many of you have done a lot in terms of partnering with strategic initiatives at your university. So I think Leganto is really a tool that can increase engagement with students, and should be used to the full potential. What would you add, Betsy?
Well, I agree with everything that you just said. I don't know that I have a lot to add, but I would definitely also say that I think I learned personally about, during COVID and the shift to virtual and the massive changes that libraries had to make and shift on a dime. And I really saw firsthand how much Leganto was able to help so many schools. And quite a few schools really had to ramp up very, very quickly. So there's a lot of value there. And especially, we don't know what can change. So Leganto is such a great tool for folks. And I would just say, you never know when things are going to change, and things like Leganto can help with that change. So I think it's a great effort to keep putting it out there. And like Sarah said, it's such a great resource. Keep talking about it, especially as you get new instructors, things of that nature, different initiatives on the campus. It's definitely worthwhile. I don't see anything else in Q&A, so thank you for being kind to us. I think those were all lovely questions, and hopefully our responses were helpful.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all for attending this session. We really hope to see you again in one of our next future sessions, hopefully soon. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Awesome. And we will provide a resource list. So the different resources that we talked about throughout the presentation, we will provide a resource list if you'd like that, along with the recording. So links into all of those materials, most of them, where we do have the hyperlinks, we will provide that to you. So thanks, as Sarah said, for attending. We really appreciate your time and attention and hope to see you on a future session.
Bye-bye. Thank you all.